Thanks for joining me in this bite-sized workshop for boundaries and managing your energy at Christmas time, particularly with your family. Christmas is amazing and families are amazing, but they can also be really challenging, really difficult, really triggering. My parents pretty much announced their divorce on my 13th birthday, which also happens to be Christmas Day. So that's triple melodrama. So tragic, right? But yeah, so for the subsequent 20 years after that, my dad tried to make everything really difficult, while my mum tried to make everything really good. So I know what it's like to have difficult and tragic situations happen over the festive period. I know what it's like to have somebody try stir things up. I know what it's like to have somebody overlook that and pretend everything's okay, and all the other things in between. I know what it's like to go off, to lose your shit and join in the argument. I know what it's like to avoid everything and stay in the pub for a few days as well. That can be a pretty useful tool. But all in all, yeah, I've picked up a couple of different bits over the years that I'd really like to share with you because you may find it supportive. So let's face it, Christmas is really cool, but there's also a lot of pressure of having an orgasmically wonderful time at every turn. And when you've got a group of people together in one place that don't often spend all that time together, there could be fireworks. So finding a ground in you, anchoring process through practices is super important. I say ground as in a foundation because often we're not in our home. We might travel to our family home and it might be the one that we've grown up in, but it's not the same. It's not where we are from day to day. You might be welcoming people into your space, and even though you're in your space, it's not the same. So having something that you can anchor back into when these foundations are slightly off can be super important. So hopefully you find this useful, and maybe you find someone that you can share it with too. Please feel free to do that if you know anyone that can relate and might need it. So very simply, first things first, get up and go for a walk. It doesn't have to be particularly far or dramatic or whatever, but get up, leave, and reset. So when I'm very lucky that when I visit my mum on the south coast now, they have a beach nearby. So I get up and I walk down, I take my coffee, watch a sunrise, which is really easy to do in December because it's 7:30, 8 o'clock, 4 a.m. in the summer, a little bit harder. But yeah, I get up and I spend some time alone to gather my thoughts and to gather what's going on inside, and often to move through anything negative or catastrophizing that would be coming up. Even before my parents lived on the south coast, I would get up and take a lap around the block or walk to the local gym because I wanted to do some exercise as well. But yeah, when you move, everything moves, and it just gives you the opportunity before other people are asking you questions in your space, maybe projecting some of their stuff onto you, to figure out what's going on inside of you. So yeah, often, as I said, I find with a walk, you might start with the mind very busy, and by the time you get back, things have become a little calmer. It's always useful as well to take a breathing practice through that. So making sure breath in through the nose, out through the mouth if you can, just to clear some stuff out. That's pretty decent. That's a nice practice. And to also offer some gratitude for those that are with you. It's very easy to forget to be grateful for what you have. But yeah, even when it's challenging, grateful for these challenges. They come from a place of love, and they always help us rise. So yeah, get up, get out, take your time. And if you are a person that usually spends a lot of time by themselves and then suddenly finds himself with a lot of other people, that's really overwhelming too. So make sure that you have time later on in the day to get up and take another walk or find an activity. Maybe you've got to pick something up or drop something off, take a dog, that will give you your own personal space. Some people get a lot of energy from being around others and that's how they thrive. And absolutely, that's cool, but it's intense. So particularly if you're an introvert, make sure you take your space, yeah? And it's not rude, you just be cool about it. I'm just going for a walk by myself. So the next thing, which is a mnemonic, or a set of 5 mantras. They were taught to be my teacher, Jamie Clark. And when we did them on a yin course, we had a bell go off maybe every half an hour, and we had to go over these. Now, if you're having a particularly tough time, put the bell on. But otherwise, you could probably put them in your morning walking practice, or just getting up in the morning and at the end of the day. But they're a wonderful way to separate you from what might be going on. So I'll read them and explain them, and then we'll try read and breathe together. So the first one is, I am not my emotions. And that's a really important thing to note, because much like the ocean, if you look at it bubbling on the surface, waves going everywhere, if you draw down to the bottom, it's still, it's anchored, it's chill. So knowing that you are not what's happening at the surface is super important. The next one, I am moving towards sovereignty. So that's a very nice one that ties in with that you are not everything that's bubbling up, you're moving towards your self-identification. I am going towards grace is also a really nice one if you prefer that. The next one is, I welcome the uncomfortable feelings. Because why not? We can learn from them, and we know that that's not all it is. Bring it on. I am coming home to myself. So once again, reminding you that you're coming back to center, drawing your energy back from the edges. And the last one, this is mine, that's yours. So particularly if you've got somebody there that's trying to project their drama onto you, you don't need to worry about that. Yeah? That's theirs. And in the same way, you might have been trying to project your drama onto somebody else. That's yours. This is mine. That's yours. It's like Dirty Dancing. My ball, your ball. Yeah? So let's read them and breathe and see how we go. I am not my emotions. I am moving towards sovereignty or going towards grace. I welcome uncomfortable feelings. I am coming home to myself. This is mine, that's yours. So check in, see how you feel. The intention is that they bring everything back to center and they de-escalate the drama. Because, yeah, that's all we need. Often it's not as big as it seems. So that's it. It's dead simple. And just try not to drink a load of Baileys and swear at everybody. Just do your best. Okay? And if it happens, it happens. You know, you talk to me about it. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to support you, especially if you are getting a little bit nervous into going into festive periods. I very much know what that's like, and I'm here reaching out. Just drop me a message. But yeah, let me know how you get on. And yeah, love you tons. Space, words, breath.